Hi everyone, welcome back for Flow Session 36. Soul Flow Reality. I'm going to talk about liberating flow. Because it's important. A few years ago in my 30s, I was told the two directions of the flow. That Mother Earth, us being on it, we have this flow from her. And it's best described as liberating flow. It's us on her with the experience of life that we know through our chakra system. This flow. Constant. It's the way it is while we're here. And when we activate that through our life experience of our chakras, then the other flow we have, which is the connection of our spirits being here, assists the manifesting, because we're liberating our actions and we're in the flow of manifesting, universally. And right now on the planet, we're waking up more to that fact that we are more than just, the operation of solid matter, earning money, and we get by and we judge each other on the scale of that, really, if we're honest. There's a lot of judgment to do with that we're physical and that physical person has more or less, or that physical person is more important or less important. Normally due to position, which what is behind position? The value of money. That's looking at it from the superficial perspective. But obviously there is a lot of us on the planet that look beyond the appearance, knowing without describing it that we are energy. We liberate ourselves into various actions and we manifest in ways we couldn't imagine. From birth to death, we could not have known exactly what we were going to manifest, how we were going to liberate ourselves, and that's the amazing journey. So a lot of us know that. But I just wanted to come to you with a reminder that this is really important, because I see it happening, and it can happen through various ages, because I see it happening, into the 30s with people, that to liberate our flow, I'm going to draw your attention to the creative chakra, which is an orange chakra just below our navel, but it's a powerful center that instigates in our conscious energy field connections to the world. So we can look at around the hip level, these kind of things where it is relationships, everything to do with relationships, and how we show up in our form, and how we use our body in that way, and also the expression of who we think we are at this level. But it's a powerful center because it's part of our endless creation, instigation. Like your soul is always trying to give you messages as to what you would enjoy more in this world. And if we shut it down for perhaps other interplay of chakra, which is the next one up of solar plexus, that says, I haven't done this before, I'm not sure, this kind of bravery that's needed to follow through on our creativity, our creations. And then at the heart chakra, to stand up for ourselves and say, I really want to create this, the world doesn't agree with it, or I don't know how to do it, So you got to follow through on yourselves on all these levels to liberate this flow, which is your birthright. Okay, so we need to remind ourselves mentally to open up a bit more that you're here to create something different. And if you get instigated via your soul energy, but for various reasons it's not something you've seen happen, or you don't have the support, or you don't feel like at your solar plexus you haven't had the experience, you have those answers. You don't have the experience. You need to liberate it. You need to liberate your energy and do it. So it's in life actions. It's not in the repeat of one action, because that's just like doing the same thing, hoping for a different result. Your consciousness will stay circulating that, you know, and then hoping and praying it works. But the truth is, you're going to have to do a variety of things, which is pushing ourselves and our creativity a bit more. And, you know, then you've got to look at the human, and they have a nervous system. So you've got to accept you're going to feel these different things as well, correlating with strengthening your chakra system, strengthening your soul through the expressions in the world. The solar plexus is to share, shine bright from yourself. So doing a variety, doing things with spontaneity, doing things that are guided, you feel inside that, you know, and you'll get a ping at the heart. And a lot of the times, and when I say ping, I mean like divine inspiration. It's just sort of lines up. You feel like you'd like to do something, but for the sake of heavy energy in your field that you haven't activated yet, you won't act on the ping feeling. I really like to do that, but it'll stop at the but, and you'll circulate around. So you need to remind yourself that these things are needed, and bravery outside of comfort that you know. It's needed. If you want liberating flow, if you want more in life, these things are needed. So I'm not saying that life is all go, go, go. It's needed. You got to do it. You got to become conscious of the, want for a better word, the ping feeling, the inspiration you have, and not silence it. So then if you are silencing it and just doing the same things but really wanting something else, you've got to sit with that wanting energy. Because there's lots of confusion energy on the planet where people are wanting things but believing that they can't have them due to what they see in the world that has been. And then they end up not believing in themselves, that they, you know, the soul doesn't even come into the mindset, sort of education-wise. It's not like, but it is more and more now, I will say. But normally, it's not like the soul will say to themselves, look, the person will say to their soul, I'm not going to stop myself anymore. I'm going to go and live my soul, which is what is happening now. We have to emphasize all age groups, any age groups, because this sounds like a thing that would be, you know, around the solar plexus age instigation, which is like, you can say a approximation every 7 to 8 years for each of these chakras coming online more in the life cycle of the human. So around, you know, 7, 8, 16, 24 is the solar plexus. So between the ages of 16 and 24, a lot of youth are sort of coming out of their shell into the world. So we have to support, and wherever there's weaknesses there, you know, shine a light on the good and emphasize those building block structures for their ongoing through life. And so even before then, we know that that kind of thing is needed to emphasize their liberation for their life. With, these kind of points being important, and how we all interacting with each other in that way. Because we want a world where people are liberating themselves and the acceptance of out of the norm. Not so far out that that's the statement, as we have done through the decades to try and stretch the consciousness boundary. Some of us, have taken it to extremes, and even now to make a point, we see those various things happening to assist us to wake up to things that, there are gaps there that aren't being fulfilled, and some people can see them. So let's wake up people and do more about it. And that starts with us, allowing ourselves to light up our paths. So it's not rocket science. It's just knowing that there's more to us that needs activation by us. And it really is the heart and throat chakra between these two that don't get fulfilled, because we're not allowing the creativity and the shine into the world from those truthful things to us. So, like when we hear the statement, speak your truth, that has become a very heady kind of perspective, where people want to make their point and get their opinion across, and it's more like throw out sort of fight energy. It's not necessarily truth, because it's true, but when someone's throwing out fight energy to speak their truth, there's more that they could do within their own foundations to be living that truth that has a wider effect, due to them not spending their time in a fight energy or a trying to make a point energy, but that is important to some extent as well. But what else can we do ourselves to live more fully that assists these things without using our energy, in fighting or trying to change others so much? When it comes to the others part of it, we've done the work and we can express ourselves more clearly, resonant to our soul, like how we feel the inspiration to do things. And then we've got stronger input and connection coming together for the rise of consciousness in any area. So that's the liberating flow. So if we're holding ourselves back in any way, then take the time with yourself. It is in the silence and it is in the quiet times that you are actually building nourishment and strength and more awareness over periods of time. And sometimes things happen quickly because your soul's ready to do them and you've given the time within, that it's much easier and everything just flows better because you're attracting from having taken the time to nourish what your soul needs and wants, not the usual out there perspective without filling up, our own energetic field of who we are, rather than sort of from a sphere perspective, We could be pointing the finger out there to the edge of our sphere saying, I don't like seeing this, I don't like this coming towards me. But what more, is there more at home with yourself that needs to be heard that you could do? Yes, there is. And that's where you can develop the truth of an unlimited kind of view. Because pointing the finger or looking out there for change without building it within blocks and frazzles your energy field to think you don't have much choice. When the truth that we're waking up to with raising the consciousness and the higher consciousness meeting us, this light of New Earth, those kind of things are going to be like just accepted, that new ideas, unlimited feeling, perspectives, reaching further from your energy field in downloads, in momentary alignment feelings you get, being in the right place at the right time, and the energy just expands. Well, that's going to be more prevalent, thank God, as we move forward, which is what we want and where we're heading. But we're still in stages where we need education of liberating our flow. Because it wasn't until my 30s where it really took effect. So that is still happening for others in their 30s as well. And then we got to make sure that the youth coming through, our education becomes our living energy field for the youth coming through. And they'll adapt because they're ready for that shift as well. So it's not like, you definitely talk to them about it, but they'll get it quicker. Because they're ready for that stream and flow. It's like we're all in this pivot, come into alignment. So as we each do our part like this, the youth, they know as well. And then, it sets up the New Earth stage for the youngsters being birthed. So liberating, and I wanted to remind us of that because if you're not doing these things to light yourself up, then you can't expect your manifestations to be in alignment with your soul. So you can see how each consciousness level, if we're not aware, keeping ourselves aware that we, need to push out a little bit, do a little bit something differently, listen to ourselves, take time with ourselves, building up this fuel engagement with ourselves of nourishment to feel like we can, live this fulfilled life, which is what happens because I've done the work, I do the work, I stay conscious of these things and open up. You can see how your manifestations wouldn't be all your heart hopes of. They would just be what's in front, what's in front, what's in front, what's happening out there, what's in front of me. Because the consciousness is not reminding the person, are you doing your part? So this is what we've got to remind ourselves of our liberating flow. Am I doing my creative parts honestly? Am I honestly doing them? So this is where you you will see what level you're at, because if they're not happening the way you want them to, then you're not honestly allowing your liberating flow to penetrate into this field for your full life. So I hope that's a good help and reminder. I think that's all. That was a good flow. So let's keep up with that. And I'll see you again soon for what flows on from this. Have a great day wherever you are. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.